Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 10 is planting seeds for another divide in the Naruto community because Kurama is now back, and it's led to fans going from being shocked that Kurama's back to being upset that Kurama stated that Himawari was better suited to be a Jinchuriki than Naruto was, to now we have a growing number of fans who are suggesting that Naruto should get Kurama back, which is why in today's newest Naruto Explained video, I wanted to jump headfirst into some of the questions and concerns and outrage I've seen in the comment section since this reveal and on social media. I thought this would be a very fun discussion to have, and as you can tell from the thumbnail, I think this whole discourse is both disingenuous, it's copium, and it's downright hilarious. So based on what I've seen, the reason a lot of people, they want Kurama to come back to Naruto and why they think it's possible has shifted from, well, this is a different Kurama, so he could go back, to people pointing out that Naruto could just basically have an Obito pool where Obito's chakra flew into Kakashi's eyes to give him the Sharingan for a short period of time so he could assist Kakashi in defeating Kaguya alongside the members of Team 7. I'm going to call it out for what I think it is, which is it is pure 100% raw and uncut copium from fans of Naruto Uzumaki who love Naruto's character more than they love the Naruto franchise itself, which there is a big difference. It's really a testament to how well written of a character Kishimoto made that 10 years after Naruto's manga published its final chapter and a full year since he got sealed away and taken out of the story, that people, they're still clamoring for the return of Naruto in the hope that he's going to return with a new power. He's going to return to being the top of the verse, even if it comes at the expense of his daughter. The idea that our beloved 7th Hokage, who went from being the literal, figurative last pick in the shinobi draft to being the strongest shinobi to ever live at the moment he lost Kurama, the idea that Naruto's now sitting on the sidelines, completely outscaled by characters in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, it makes people want to go into a dark four-cornered room, surround themselves with candles, start playing sadness and sorrow while staring at the wall with tears on their eyes looking at a Naruto poster. I get it, but at the same time, I literally don't get it, because Boruto manga chapter 1 tells us that part 1 of the story was the story of father and son, as Boruto puts it, but Boruto says it's the beginning of the story that is a story of father and son, which, as Ikimoto put it, Boruto Naruto Next Generations, that was the youth arc. However, we are currently in what Boruto referred to as being Boruto's story. And as Boruto said, because his father is the Hokage, his father will always play a role in his story, and that he literally cannot help that. But at the end of the day, this is his story. It was 16-year-old Boruto telling readers in the prologue, quite literally, this is not going to be the story of a boy who aspires to be Hokage. That story, it's already been written. He's basically saying you have two options right now. Either go read that story you're clamoring for, if that's what you want, or accept that Naruto's story is what it is, and that it's a beautiful message in the Boruto era, which is the story of a man who had no family, is now struggling with the responsibilities that comes from living out his dream job as being the Hokage and trying to juggle with his family alongside it. And at the end of it all, because he loved his family more than anything else, he found himself getting sealed away because he was unable to do the one thing that was expected of him as Hokage, which is to kill his child. When you take the emotion out of it, there's a lot of good character writing for Naruto, and I bring that up to say this for why I think it's cope of Naruto getting Kurama back and why I think that it's dumb. It's emotional, which that's fine. You have a right to be emotional, but the problem with emotions is that people tend to be illogical. Is Himawari someone who doesn't want to be a fighter? Yes. Is Himawari someone who isn't a trained fighter, or rather a well-trained fighter, and she's someone who never wanted to be a Jinchuriki? Absolutely. However, it's as Kurama stated in the manga chapter, he was talking to Himawari as much as to us. This is where fate led them, and whether or not they live or die, it will depend on whether or not Himawari is able to properly use Kurama's power now. And he tells her to stop being a spoiled brat and to figure it out. This is her struggle now, and it makes even more sense when you go back to Ikimoto's 2018 interview over the span of 3 days when he was in Italy. He said not only that he wished that Himawari played a bigger role in the story, but he hinted that there was something bigger in store for her, and that's where we are currently. If you're a fan of Naruto, I don't see how you look at Naruto's two children having to take the lessons and the values that Naruto and Hinata instilled in them at a young age and use those very things to overcome the same trials and tribulations that Naruto had to. And it's needed to overcome one of Naruto's biggest fears when it comes to his mortality, which I've covered in some of the Naruto wrestling videos. Neither Boruto or Himawari, they asked to be where they are right now. But Boruto's story, from Naruto Next Generations to Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, it has been playing with the theme of destiny and genetics being something inescapable, in the sense that you have to confront them head on at some point. You cannot escape it. Multiple times in part 1 of the story, we were given signs that Naruto, he was in for a rough future, a rude awakening, and that Konoha would have to learn to depend on itself and not him, which by extension, so too goes for the greater ninja world itself. And it makes sense. Naruto, for as much as you love him, at some point Naruto dies in universe. He will not live forever. He'll live forever in your hearts, absolutely, but in universe, at some point he's gonna die. It might be of old age, it might be because he drank some poison ramen juice, but at some point Naruto dies. Viewers who have watched me cover the light novel set in the Naruto blank period and the Boruto era know this next point all too well. More than once, characters in a position of power, from Kakashi to some of the Boruto era Kage and even Naruto himself, they worried that this peace, it wasn't going to be sustainable, because in the grand scheme of things, in the history of the shinobi world, this alliance is still in its infancy and they're still figuring things out as they go. And Naruto in particular worried that if he wasn't around, that the ninja world might gradually over time go back to how it used to be, especially when you factor in the politics of the feudal lords who each control each village's Kage. The Kage at each village is not the final shot caller, it is a feudal lord. If the feudal lord says you're going to war, you are going to war. Sasuke even concedes that due to how powerful he and Naruto are, there really isn't a choice by anyone in any other village to do anything except for go along with the treaty that Konoha negotiated after the 4th Ninja War, because Naruto and Sasuke, they could just blow up the continent on their own if it ever came to a war dispute. Not that they would ever do so, but it's understood they contained that level of power, and casually at that. Naruto's other fear, that the ninja world wasn't ready for threats at his level or above it, was gradually put to the test over the span of part 1 of the story. Yes, Naruto stated he believed the new generation of shinobi would eventually surpass himself in the Boruto Kages, but he also said they are young tree buds that needed a little bit more time to be nurtured before they could start reaching the potential that he saw in them. Naruto got captured by Momoshiki and Kinshiki, and the Boruto Kages, they were asked to assist Sasuke in the mission to retrieve Naruto. Naruto was captured by Jigen, and we saw Shikamaru step up to assume the authority of Hokage, and in that brief period of time, we saw how vulnerable Konoha was. When Naruto lost Kurama by fighting Ishiki, the Boruto Kages, they're facing one of the worst possible outcomes that Naruto feared, which was they each believed they could destroy Ten Tails. And I would argue the Boruto Kages can destroy Ten Tails itself. Not a Ten Tails Jinchuriki, but they can destroy Ten Tails. But if Momoshiki returned in Boruto's body, they feared that no one, including Naruto, would be able to destroy that Momoshiki. And they're correct. Naruto in universe, he is presumed currently to be dead, with only a few people knowing the truth. They know that there are several threats out there that are stronger than Jigen, who beat down Prime Naruto and Sasuke, left Sasuke crawling back to his wife to get healed. They know that Code is out there and they have to worry about them. They believe they have to worry about Boruto. They have two people who are neutral in Ada and Damon, who are only as loyal to helping Konoha as they are to getting their needs met. They can leave on a whim if they ever decide to. For these people, their security blanket in Naruto, it is now gone. There is no break glass in case of emergency button to push Naruto into the battlefield. Naruto ain't going nowhere. He's floating in a time space where time doesn't move, completely nodding off. And they believe that his rival Sasuke, he has turned against the ninja world once again. They were forced to take drastic measures to step up and surpass their limits. And it was an urgent of enough situation that even Naruto's own daughter was being pushed to start training as well, which in of itself should be a major reflection of the times where being a shinobi is elective, and someone as kind-hearted as Himawari was inspired to start gaining power, because Naruto leaving, it is a huge disruption in the balance of power. Naruto being presumed dead is the same thing that you have in Jujutsu Kaisen, where it stated Gojo being born in of itself shifted the balance of power. Naruto being dead shifted the balance of power in that way. I say that to say Himawari is being forced into being in possession of Kurama. It's going to force her to have her growth be sped up and become someone who is worthy of those monster genetics that she has. When Kurama says she's more suited to be his Jinchuriki than Naruto was, having a stronger affinity, factually speaking, he isn't wrong. And as tough as a pill as that is for some fans to swallow, because they think that Naruto is Ninja Jesus and he walks on water. Well, he technically does walk on water, but you get the point. It's gonna go down your mouth faster than Ino started regretting only having one child when she sensed Inojin's chakra absolutely tank and she realized that Sai can no longer get it up. Her parents, they are a blend of both aspects of Kaguya, and that cannot be understated, but let's just presume that Naruto does want Kurama back. Does anyone really think Naruto's gonna kill his daughter to get that power back? That's what would happen. Himawari was born with Kurama inside of her. He wasn't sealed into her after she was born like Naruto. A possession of his chakra is already there, which I discussed why that's likely the case in my Where Did Himawari's Biju Chakra Come From videos, so I'm not going to repeat those talking points. You can watch that if you want more information on that regard. In universe, canonically at that, most importantly, canonically, we have not been told a name of a jutsu that can transfer the Biju from one person to another. The instances where we've seen Biju extracted, the Jinchuriki dies. Or in the case of Minato, when he sealed the yin half, or rather he tried to seal the yin half of Kurama into Naruto after Madara extracted the yang half, it's important to remember that Minato was kind of dead himself. We have Naruto Shippuden filler where Naruto, through unknown reasons, was somehow given half of Kurama's chakra, and the other half was still inside of Kushina, but that's Naruto filler. It goes in the trash bin and it's set on fire. I'm not saying 100% we don't rule out some chakra mumbo jumbo from happening, because with any long-running series, especially a franchise like Naruto that's been around for 24 years in manga format, you're gonna have some backdoor retcons made. You're gonna have some tweaks made to the existing lore. So I never rule anything out 100%, but I do believe, just looking at the narrative and the direction that it's going, that's not where we're gonna end up. Naruto's legacy, his two children, they're the ones carrying the torch now. And it's as Boruto said, his father, he is a support character now. All of the Biju chakra inside of Naruto, it was burned up. If there was any left, Kurama would have respawned inside of Naruto. But all the Biju chakra was burned up. Sakura does a test on him, and we see there's no traces of Biju chakra left inside of Naruto. I love Naruto as a franchise as much as anybody. I own all 72 volumes, 73 when you count Naruto Gaiden, in English, and I own the Japanese manga volumes as well. Depending on which version of Naruto that you're talking about, he's one of my favorite characters. But we're at a point where Naruto Uzumaki fans, they're at risk of becoming the new Madara and Itachi fans, speaking more so from emotion rather than logic, which again, that is a testament to how amazing of a character Masashi Kishimoto wrote. But it's time for us to sit in the corner, have our group therapy, eat some ramen, start playing Sadness and Sorrow while we bawl our eyes out, or we click the Boruto chapter review on the right if you haven't seen it yet, or you click my 15 strongest Demon Slayer videos on the left.